Welcome to the wall. Today you'll see the consequences of decisions. Women who ended their marriages convinced they'd find something better and now cry in regret. From the one who walked away after 23 years of marriage, to the one who now admits she lost the only man who truly valued her. Now more than ever, we need your support. Leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. This content doesn't always get the reach it deserves because we speak uncomfortable truths. We're committed to bringing you real and entertaining material every day. And a heartfelt thanks to those who support this project through Super Chat. Now let's get started.
I don't know how else to document things, but this is the ugly side of separation and divorce. When you don't truly understand what is going on, when you are stepping into a new career, and the person that is supposed to be your person is not there to tell you how happy they are for you and how proud they are for your first day. When you can't stop crying because you miss their touch, you miss their sarcasm, you miss everything about them, you miss their smell in the morning, you miss their go grab a Red Bulls, you miss every single ounce of them, and you don't know what to do. But this is day one of my journey of being a 40-year-old, newly licensed registered nurse who worked her butt off to get here, that is also going to go through a divorce from the person that she thought she was going to spend all of eternity with. So please don't judge if you see me out today and I can't stop crying, or if you ask me how I'm doing and I don't have an answer, because I don't know how I am. I know that I feel empty and I feel hollow, and I am trying my best.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
You should have stayed with your husband. I don't understand where this regret comes from over losing something they once had, because if I leave someone, I don't go around crying later over a decision I made myself. But she goes through life not knowing what she wants, files for divorce only to realize later that she already had everything good in her life. Apparently, problem solving isn't something these women are taught. They have to destroy everything first before they even start thinking about how to fix it. You let go of the person who was your support and your foundation. Now, in your best moment, you realize that nothing is worth it without that person. That lack of meaning is proof that responsibility is kryptonite for women.
He's not signing the divorce papers. Why am I not surprised? Why am I a little surprised? I should have seen this coming. He has dragged me for the last 30 days, making me think that he is on board with our uncontested divorce when he had no intention of following this through. Tonight, I got an email saying that he filed something. I don't know what it is, but in it, he's complaining that I put the utilities in my name. I got my own car insurance policy and my own cell phone plan. Those three things, he said, do immediately. He moved out. He said, get those out of my name today. So I did. After I did, he said, look, in these documents, it says you're not allowed to do that. Okay. So also in this thing that he filed, he's complaining about all of these lies. Like, he's saying all these lies. Things like, I'm not submitting receipts to him, and I'm not getting him proof of my insurance, and I'm not homeschooling appropriately. I don't know. Groceries. There's something in there about groceries. So I messaged him and I asked him what the heck. And I just kind of told him, like, you know what? This is getting too messy. We need attorneys. I thought we could do this. I was stupid to think that we could. Let's get attorneys. And he was like, no, okay. If I withdraw that thing that I filed, can we just work it out on our own? I was like, no, too little, too late.
To every man going through a divorce, I'll say this: always get a lawyer. A lawyer, for you, is like a rifle for a soldier in war. If you don't have a lawyer, the judges will tear you apart in court. The worst move a man can make right after being served divorce papers is to be without legal representation. The woman you married won't be the same when you're divorcing. That's when you'll see her true face and her real interests. So always make sure you have a lawyer ready.
And I hate to be one of those women that come on TikTok and cry, and people are like, why is she doing that? I'll tell you that almost 2 years ago, my ex and I divorced after 23 years of marriage. And it's been almost 2 years. It has been the hardest, most loneliest time of my life. I mean, if somebody would have said that I would feel and walked through what I have walked through, I would have said, no, I won't, because I will not make it. I will not survive very long. I just pulled in my driveway from work, and I don't want to go inside because my kids aren't home this week. I also, when I look to the left, I see our basketball court and 2 basketballs in the yard. And I'm not going to move those. They're reminders of these precious children that I have. And that I can't stop. But man, times like this suck when I don't want to go inside my home because there's no one to go home to. No one is in there waiting for me. I will not be greeted by anybody. And that is a really hard place to be. So, I don't have any like crazy magic words that'll make you feel better if you're experiencing that. Just know that you're not alone, and these feelings, we all know they come and go. Last night I pulled into my driveway just feeling fine. I was actually a little bit excited that I just had the night to myself. But today it just hit me. You just never plan on things like this happening. So again, I don't have anything earth-shattering to tell you except that you are not alone in those feelings. And probably an important thing to do is to reach out to somebody that's healthy, not just anybody. While I think it's important to sit in those feelings and that grief, because there's so much growth happening. Like, I know there is so much growth happening in my heart, and I want that growth because I don't want any of that pain to be in vain. I want to come out of this a better woman, a better mom, a better partner for that person. So I'm going to wrap this up because I'm rambling and I kind of want to delete it. Maybe I should. But just know you're not alone.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
She feels bad for not having her kids for 2 days. What a shame. Imagine a man who saw his children every day, who had a home he worked hard to build, who had his routine, his space, who watched his kids grow up. He probably ate with them at the table, listened to what they had to say, or played video games with them. And suddenly, he gets served divorce papers. They take away his house, half of his money, and impose a monthly payment for his children. He goes from seeing them every day to becoming just a weekend dad. A man who now has to move into a smaller apartment, live less comfortably, return to silence with no one at home. All he is left is seeing his kids on weekends, and even that costs him 4 to 5 hours in travel and preparation. When you go through that, then you'll have the right to complain, because that kind of thing breaks you on the inside. And it's even worse when the person who pushed you out of your own home is the one you once loved.
Women.
I feel like nobody prepares you for the loneliness you feel in your late 20s and just like this shift. So basically, I stay in almost every weekend. And my life is very busy because of my job. I'm traveling a lot and I'll go out like for events and do things like that. But for the most part, I stay in like every weekend. And it makes me feel like such a loser and so lonely. And most of my friends live with their boyfriends, or other people I see online have these big groups of friends that they do stuff every weekend. And I never really have plans. Like I've stayed in all day, just watching the challenge, and I've been going on walks with my dog, and it's a beautiful day outside and I literally have nothing to do. And I feel like in my early 20s, I had a big group and we would all do stuff every single weekend. But I feel like then slowly people started moving on with their lives and moving in with their significant others and having kids and getting married. And I have none of that. So I'm kind of just here feeling lonely, and kind of ashamed of that. And I feel like on the internet, my life looks like so cool. Like maybe it doesn't, but like that, like you being an influencer, you get to do all this cool stuff and it's so amazing and so cool. But then sometimes I'm like, okay, well, outside of like that world, like I don't really have much to come home to. And that makes me sad, but maybe other people are feeling like this. And yeah.
At 28, what you call loneliness is just a warning of what's coming. The wall is just 2 steps away, and you know it. Fear of not having a partner, of spending weekends alone, of watching your friends build families while you come home by yourself. You can travel, make money, and pretend to have a busy life, but none of that fills the emptiness of not having a home of your own. The solution isn't feminism or social media independence. It's accepting reality. You need a man to build with. Not a Prince Charming, but an average, hardworking man who wants a family. Because if you keep wasting time, all that's waiting for you is to become the single ant. The wall doesn't forgive.
One thing about long-term, like chronic singleness that I have a really hard time explaining to people is this concept of not being anyone's person. And I think often when single people, I've had this conversation with other single people, of course, but like when we try to explain this concept to married people, to our friends who are in long-term relationships, to our families, they seem to think that it's coming from some sort of like self-pitying, woe is me place. And I just want you to hear me saying this for what it is, which is the truth. I am no one's person. I do not have a person. I am no one's first choice. I am no one's first call. I am not the person that someone texts first thing in the morning or last thing before they go to bed. I am no one's, hey, I got home safe. Hey, I'm on my way. There is no one on this planet that exists that is that for me or that I am that for them. I am loved. I am extremely loved. I have friends who love me. I have parents who love me. I have the Lord of this universe that loves me. But I do not have a person or a partner who is my person. And I think people hear this and they think it's coming from some sort of like self-pitying, like, oh, I'm so sad place. But it is objective truth that I am no one's person and I do not have a person. And does that suck sometimes? Absolutely. Like, are there a lot of days that I really wish I had a person where like I go on these really fun solo adventures? I love doing them. They're so fun. Are there days that I like wish I had someone to share it with? Absolutely. I try really hard to romanticize my life and to not let being alone stop me from doing the things I want to do. I travel, I go to restaurants, I go on adventures, I go hiking, I go camping, I go to the beach. I go out in this world because you have to, because otherwise like you're just wasting your life. And I don't know how long I will be single, and I don't want to eventually, if I do get to meet my person, I don't want to meet them and realize that I had all this time that I just wasted and I wasn't really living life and I wasn't growing and becoming the person that I wanted to be before I met them. So I try to wake up every day and I just try to get out there and make the best of this existence that I have. But do I wish a lot of the time that it looked different than it does. Do I wish I had romantic love? Do I wish I had a person? Yeah. Yeah, most of us do. And I don't know how to end this beyond saying that I'm just doing my best. And I love you. And that's it. Okay, bye.
She's right. Being chronically single turns you into nobody's person. She doesn't get a good morning or a phone call from a man who cares. But the real question isn't whether she's single, it's why she's single. Is it because her standards are too high? Or because she won't give a chance to a man with good intentions? I say this because there are plenty of young single men out there. The problem is that if they don't have money or don't meet the apocalyptic 666, 6 feet tall, 6-figure salary, and a six-pack, they're practically invisible to women. This leads to only 20% of men dating the majority of women, while the rest don't even register on the radar. So, woman, lower your standards. You're almost 30, and the wall is waiting. The wall doesn't forgive. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Why do divorced women always regret it after the divorce? What do you think about the story of the woman who divorced after 23 years of marriage? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.